Danny and the Great White Bear. Danny and his dad looked up at the night sky. The stars glinted above their heads, but Danny felt sad. His dad was going far away the next day. "See that cluster of stars up there? It's called the Great Bear," said his dad. Danny had to look hard to see the bear, but he could just make one out. "Before you go to sleep, look up at those stars. Wherever I am, I will look up at them too, and I will be thinking of you." The next morning, Danny and his mum waved goodbye to his dad. Dad often went away to take pictures of wild animals. Danny loved the pictures, but he never got used to the goodbyes. He tried not to be sad. He tried not to be cross. He tried to be a big boy. He was just about to chew his thumb when there was a knock at the door. Before Danny could get up to answer it, a great white bear strolled in. He looked around, poked his head in and out of cupboards, tested the bounds on Danny's bed, and decided to stay. Danny called him White Bear. White Bear traveled lightly. In a bag with a strap, he had paper and pens and some frozen fish fingers, which he put in the fridge in case he got hungry. At first, Danny didn't tell his mum about the bear, but it's hard to keep a big white bear a secret in a small house. "He can stay as long as he behaves," said his mum. In the morning, White Bear took Danny to school. He held Danny's hand all the way there. He waved until Danny had disappeared through the school doors. After school, they went swimming. When he was tired, Danny flopped across White Bear's big wet belly. They dipped and dived and sprayed and splashed. At night, before bed, Danny and White Bear read stories together. And after his mum had kissed him good night and the dark was close, Danny slipped out of bed and looked up at the night sky. The Great Bear was still there. For days and weeks, White Bear stayed with Danny. He scared away the neighbor's dog. He helped Danny build his train set. He pushed Danny on the swing in the park, and when Danny fell, he put a plaster on his knee. Occasionally, when White Bear was hungry, Danny's mum cooked some fish fingers. Then one day, a postcard came from Danny's dad. The picture showed a land of ice and snow and an enormous starry sky. "White Bear, look! Look where my daddy is!" cried Danny. On the back of the postcard was a message. "Dear Danny, home soon. Love, Dad." White Bear looked a bit sad. "You missing home?" asked Danny. White Bear chewed on his big paw. Danny fetched White Bear's pens. He spread out a snowy white sheet of paper and helped White Bear write a letter. "Dear Fox, home soon. Love, White Bear." They posted the next day on the way to school. That evening, Danny and White Bear looked up at the Great Bear, and then in the starry darkness, they climbed into bed. Danny couldn't sleep. The quiet was too quiet. The night was too long. He wondered where his dad was now. Beside him, White Bear lay awake too. Finally, Danny went to sleep. White Bear gathered up his paper and pens, strapped his bag on his back, and slipped silently down the stairs. Light was just beginning to seep in at the edge of the sky when Danny woke up. White Bear was gone. Danny was just about to chew his thumb when he heard a key in the front door. Footsteps on the stairs. His door opened a crack. "Dad!" cried Danny, leaping out of bed and into his father's arms. "Did you look at the Great Bear every night?" asked his dad. "I did. And a great white bear came to stay while you were away," said Danny. "I hope you looked after each other," said his dad. Danny looked up at the Great Bear in the sky. "I'll save the rest of the fish fingers for next time," he whispered to the stars, and the stars winked back at him.